Hello everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host Nathan P. Butler. This time we look at something that is somewhat similar to some things we've seen before, but a much bigger version of it, something that is part of a collection rather than an individual item. We have looked a lot at the 2005 CD soundtrack release for Revenge of the Sith because it includes a DVD called Star Wars: A Musical Journey, which is that really cool way of basically watching through the Star Wars saga for episodes 1 through 6 in a musical way with John Williams' score, kind of as these music video type things, with optional introductions to each by Ian McDiarmid / Palpatine. It's a really cool way to go through the saga, nice to have on in the background, that sort of thing. One of my favorite little oddball things that you can get when it comes to non-film stuff for Star Wars. Well, recently we took a look at a UK release, which I believe was also widely available within Europe, but a UK release of that soundtrack with a special slipcover over it that made it a limited edition. Well, years later, in 2015, 10 years after its original release, the Revenge of the Sith soundtrack, including that DVD, was made available as part of a set, a big boxed set for the soundtracks, which at least was released in Europe. I see listings saying this was released in the US as well, but I have found no evidence of that actually being the case. You never see these on eBay coming out of the US. Even if it is a US seller, it's a European copy. So unless, because region isn't a thing for audio, unless they just all, even in the US, have the labeling on them being from Europe, I kind of question whether this actually was released in the US, but I am not even remotely an expert on Star Wars soundtracks. So maybe it did get released over here. I know there were at least LP versions with similar packaging. Not sure about this otherwise, but the one we're looking at here is at least one that appears to be from Europe that I got from a seller within the US through eBay. And that is a thing called the Star Wars Ultimate Soundtrack Collection. This little thing here. Little because it's full of CD cases here. So we have our Stormtrooper there. Star Wars, the Ultimate Soundtrack Collection, music composed and conducted by John Williams. Star Wars with that information again on this side. And that side. And that side. And that side. And on the back, but up at the top. Followed by what's on the discs, right? Disc 1, 2, and 3 are single disc audio CDs for episodes 1, 2, and 3. Disc 4 is the A Musical Journey DVD, and it is noted as DVD differently here. All the other ones don't say CD in front of them, but that one says DVD. And then for discs 5 through 10, it's 2 each for each of the original trilogy films, because they were 2 CD sets. And then there's a bonus disc of interviews with John Williams and Harrison Ford, which makes it an 11-disc set. 10 CD, 1 DVD. Sony Classical, UPC, all of your legalese down here on the bottom. You actually open this up, and it's a really kind of nice package here, I would say. If you happen to see one of these online and you see a different back for it, no worries, it'll be this. This is just the paper that was over it in the packaging. Still says Star Wars Ultimate Soundtrack Collection, but lacks the other stuff about John Williams. Limited edition, available for the first time in 1 CD box set, 10 CDs plus 1 DVD. All 6 original soundtracks from episodes 1 through 6 by Oscar-winning composer John Williams. DVD, Star Wars: A Musical Journey, 16 music video clips, more than 1 hour of content. Bonus disc, interviews with John Williams and Harrison Ford. Fold-out poster and 3 stickers. Facsimile sleeves of the original artwork. Episodes 1 through 3 restored from the original masters. Then an image of the content. You will often see that image of the content as the image on eBay. Sony Classical, NTSC 0 as far as the region for the DVD itself. DVD, Dolby Digital, DVD 5 color, total time approximately 70 minutes. DVD copy control, and it says it in some other languages here. I think German is one of them. UPC, legalese down there. And then the spine side would just be the same as we saw with the other spines. Inside, lots of cool stuff here. We'll start out with the non-CD stuff. This is our program booklet here. Has the Stormtrooper in the title with John Williams stuff underneath it. That on the back. But this is actually a booklet that becomes a poster. So we have a message here, which I'll read, and then our track listing stuff again. The message says, and this is from John Williams, not George Lucas this time, John Williams. I think orchestral music is always going to be an essential element in the making of a great majority of films. Music and film have proven to be sister arts that symbiotically join together in the most magical way. I've always felt privileged to have had the opportunity to compose music for the Star Wars films. So much of what we composers do can be ephemeral and quickly forgotten, perhaps even by ourselves, and it's particularly gratifying to have some of one's work linger in people's memories. The ongoing affection for these Star Wars films and their music continues to be one of my greatest joys. Then you take it and you fold it out. Okay. And you've got track listings and such on one side. Okay. And then a really cool poster on the back that has episodes 1 through 6, has the different poster art there. Original prequel trilogy poster art, and then poster art used for the special editions for the OT. And Vader there as well in the middle, which I'm assuming is an image taken from promotion during Revenge of the Sith. Really, really cool stuff here. As far as that poster goes, I would hang it, but I don't want to remove this from the package. And I'm not buying this thing again because they tend to retail or show up on eBay and whatnot for like $200 to $300 a pop. Yeah, to get just the DVD inside it, basically. Then you've got 3 little art cards. Oddly enough, this one, I don't know, I'm assuming it's there just to promote A New Hope. This one, I don't know, to promote Return of the Jedi. And the Empire Strikes... Nope. Another one promoting A New Hope. So was this maybe meant to be one for Empire? But not really. It can't possibly be. And I'm a little bit concerned about the image here, because if you look at it real close there, look at Leia. It's almost like the other side of her shirt doesn't exist. Maybe she's hiding behind Chewie because she's having a wardrobe malfunction. Could very well be the case there. As for the actual soundtracks, we've got Episode 1, The Phantom Menace here. We're not going to go through all the details on the disc jackets, except for Revenge of the Sith, because that's the one that's got the home video stuff in it. But there's your front. The spine actually does have the text on it here, albeit small. You have your back. Okay. I always love this because of the whole Qui-Gon's noble end. Thank you for spoiling the movie before the movie came out. Interior. Cool stuff there. And then since this is a single disc soundtrack, the disc is coming from this side here. And it's actually the same as you would have gotten if you just bought the standalone soundtrack back in the day. Not sure why it is saying something about, what was that? About episodes 1 through 3 restored from original masters. Because that certainly is at least the same disc art that I saw when I bought that soundtrack originally back in '99. But, okay, whatever. Maybe they just reused the label. We have Attack of the Clones. Again, I'm not an expert on soundtrack stuff at all, so don't ask me. I'm sure there'll be people in the comments providing further information for those who are particularly curious. There's the interior. There. And the disc. This is one I actually did not own originally, so I can't tell you if that's the same art, but I'm assuming that it is. We'll save Revenge of the Sith for last, because that's the one with the home video content. We have the one for A New Hope, actually designed to mirror the original LP packaging, which I actually own. I'm not entirely sure where it is. I think it's probably somewhere like in a protective sleeve or something, maybe like way up on the top of my shelves behind some of the other stuff that's up there that you can't see with this particular camera shot here. I have it somewhere because my mom owned it and gave it to me many years later. But we got Star Wars there. We got the back, looks very much like the old LP. Interior, like the old LP. And this one has 2 discs, so coming from either side. What I thought was kind of a nice touch for these, and I'm not sure if it's on any others, maybe there are, who knows, I sure don't. I'm not a collector of these. The discs are designed to resemble old LPs, which I thought was pretty cool there. Okay. So that's A New Hope. They took a similar approach of mirroring LPs for Empire and Jedi as well. So here's Empire. Ooh, it's that artwork that everybody was so pissed off about with the steelbooks from Zavvi in 2020. That teaser poster type art. The back. The spine. I think I showed you the spine for A New Hope. There you go. Spine for Empire. Open it up. And trying to replicate that old LP look. Same thing with the discs, with the RSO. Is that a cow? I guess. Up at the top? Maybe? If so, that's a ugly, ugly cow. Otherwise, I'm not sure what it is. And I'm not sure if it would be any uglier for that species. Then we have Return of the Jedi. I love the classic look to these and just how cool that looks when scaled down to the size of a CD disc jacket. Again, 2 discs, similar design, looks a lot like the ones for Empire. There's also a bonus disc, as I mentioned. Bonus disc is just a single sleeve, it's not a folding one. It says bonus disc, interviews with John Williams and Harrison Ford. The back breaks it down, it says, an interview with John Williams, his life as a composer, part 1, part 2, part 3. An interview with Harrison Ford, the music of Star Wars, part 4, part 5. Then tells who did the interviews for each and where it was recorded. And then underneath a little bit of legalese, but then the disc itself has sort of the Starfield kind of thing going on. Legalese around the edges, bonus disc at the top, interviews with the 2 gents listed here, Sony Classical image down at the bottom, or logo down at the bottom. Now, as far as Revenge of the Sith, that is where your home video content is going to be. It's handled very much like the ones for the original trilogy in the sense that it is a folding jacket, and they were all folding jackets except for the bonus disc, but it's a folding jacket where both of the slots are used because you'll need one for the CD, one for the DVD, unlike the other prequels. So the art there looks a lot like the standard case insert that we saw, the one that folded out into a poster for Revenge of the Sith, but this is not in a jewel case, of course. It's these nice cardboard jackets. Spine there. I'm pretty sure I just missed showing you the spine on Return of the Jedi. I'm just terrible at showing you spines. There's Jedi's spine. Bonus one's too flat, doesn't have a spine. There we go. Goodness gracious me. There you go. Almost said bless my heart, but that means something different in Georgia. Okay, in the back. Okay. So similar to the original design. Inside, actually similar to part of that original design on the side that wasn't the poster for the insert if you tried to fold it out. So kind of cool to see that reused there. And then either side, you pull a disc out. Okay. Here is the CD. Different kind of label here. Okay, so we've got Grievous in his wheel bike. Original motion picture soundtrack, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, legalese going around the edges, music composed and conducted by John Williams, Sony Classical. And then with it, a European labeled version, albeit Region 0 version, of A Musical Journey. Now, what's interesting about this is, again, this, I'm told, was a European release that I bought from someone who happened to be in the US. And that would make sense with this rating over here. But it's not only Region 0, which will play anywhere, it's also NTSC, not PAL, which is used here in places like Japan, not typically used in Europe. So kind of an oddball there as far as regions go. But we got our legalese going around the edges, Vader there, Sony Classical logo, the rating there from, I believe it's Germany, Star Wars A Musical Journey, Lucasfilm, DVD, Dolby Digital, NTSC, DVD5, region code 0. So basically, if you wanted to own a copy of A Musical Journey on DVD, and you were a glutton for, not punishment, but you're either a fan of Star Wars soundtracks or you were someone who was willing to pay a lot to get a bunch of stuff that's not really what you're collecting to get the one thing you are inside that set, as I was prompted to do after some discussion about this on the Star Wars Home Video Facebook page, then you might want to pick up or hunt down, whether it's from Europe or over here if one existed over here, the Star Wars Ultimate Soundtrack Collection. I love the music of Star Wars, I just don't collect it. I tend to just get it digitally these days so I can listen to it. And unfortunately, some of my favorite Star Wars music outside of John Williams, I haven't found physical discs for. I love, for instance, listening to the soundtrack from The Force Unleashed, right? But here in this nice small case, on CDs, not LPs in this case, although there were LPs as well, you could get the soundtracks. Although I'm told that, I think it was episodes 4 through 6 are not even the newest masters as of when this was produced. Could be all of them. Again, I don't follow the soundtrack stuff, but I'm told that from a musical standpoint, this was substandard for the time it was released, slightly. That said, it's a nice package here if you're just trying to get the soundtracks in something and you want to have the DVD, or if you're hunting down a musical journey and you want something much more elaborate to have a musical journey as part of it, as opposed to being just the standard Revenge of the Sith soundtrack. Either way, glad to have it in my collection. Not glad by how much I paid for it, but at least now it's in the collection. I can show it in the book as yet another variant of a way to get a musical journey, and that was kind of the point. Show it on the show, show it in the book. Maybe listen to the soundtrack at some point. With that, we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching. May the Force be with the home video viewers and soundtrack listeners.